HarperAudio Australia presents Ever Blessed, written by Olivia O'Flynn and read by Annabelle Tudor. For Alex, of course. Paragraph 4 of the sect's degree. All born ever blessed must reveal themselves to the sect, to save the lands haunted by the Danan's cursed breath. It is you who are marked by the Ever for penance. It is your offering which shall return stability to those you love. Your sacrifice shall not be forgotten, as the ending comes for us all. Blessed by the glory of the sect, in the shadow of Caius we follow. Chapter 1. Elva held her breath until the hazy green of the water engulfed her, until everything was soft and misty, and the world's sharp focus dulled like the edges of sea glass. She dived further, kicking her legs until she reached the rocky depths, willing her lungs to hold on a little longer, hold on until she could forget her name and what was about to come. Her hair floated around her like a halo, and when her fingers finally sank to the bottom, she flipped and drove her feet into the seabed, propelling herself towards the light above, until she was reunited with the waves once again. "No way you found one so quickly," Remy called from her sunning position on the rocky shelf above the inlet. Elva grinned and tossed a white object towards Remy. Her girlfriend's left hand flew out and caught it, her swift reflexes the only visible mark of her training as a Vettonian warrior. Remy held up the shell, its opalescent belly glinting in the sunshine. "I should never doubt you, should I?" Elva swam over and braced her forearms on the rocky ledge. "No, you shouldn't." She flicked a handful of water onto Remy and swallowed her laugh as she dived out of sight, Remy's curse fading to white noise under the waves. Elva paddled to the center of the cove, then spun onto her back and looked at the cloud-speckled sky. People from all over the city usually came to take a cold plunge at this time, but with the envoy from Clocain arriving shortly, the inlet was empty as people prepared for the feast. All the locals knew she'd be there anyway. They knew she'd want a moment alone before everything changed. She didn't know whether she should laugh or sob at their consideration. "Elva, are you even listening?" Remy called to her. Elva didn't bother to respond. It was obvious enough she wasn't. She closed her eyes and floated gently on top of the calm sea, her naked body luminescent in the afternoon light. More than once, she'd wished she had the nerve to suggest to Remy that they run away together, tell the king of Clocain the arranged marriage with his son was a scam. Damn the war, damn the blight. But every time she went to speak, the words got caught in her throat, and she hushed the question in Remy's eyes with a kiss. She wouldn't run from this responsibility. Not when her people's lives were on the line. Not when she and Remy weren't even twin souls. She could barely admit it to herself, but there was a small part of her which was relieved. Doing this meant her penance was finally being paid. A murmur brushed her ears, but Elva couldn't hear the words over the lull of the ocean, so she beckoned her girlfriend over with a wave. Remy shrugged off her jacket and pants, took a breath, then dived into the freezing water, swimming quickly over to Elva, who bobbed on the waves, eyes closed. "Keller will be replacing me as captain," Elva said. "She's firm, but she's a good leader, and will keep the morale of the squad high. Elva, once I'm wed, troops will start to pull back from the garrison at Anfa as a sign of good faith." Remy sighed, but nodded. Repeating herself was obsolete, but Elva couldn't shake the feeling she'd forgotten something within the plan. "Think, Elva, think." She sank into the water, and when she rose, she turned and looked out of the inlet, noting the dozen fishing boats dotting the horizon. It was a clear day, and all the people who could be spared from the preparations were on the water, trying to catch as much food as they possibly could.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?